Okay, now this next bit you can do differently if you have a better way of doing it. Obviously it looks a little bit messy, but so we've made the pillow, and instead of making the base first, I'm going to actually make around the sides. Now the bottom of it, this bit, would be probably about that size because that's what we measured for the pillow. So I did measure around it and it was about 82 centimetres, and my material is only 50 centimetres. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the whole of this and basically use this half for one side. Where's it gone? For about one side and the other half for another. And it'll be about that high, but obviously it'll be smaller because it'll be stitched. The lining will be this colour. So where this is, you know, well, that's 51 centimetres, but we would need at least 41, but when you stitch it and turn it inside out, it gets slightly smaller. So because of that, I am going to say let's do it as 45, no 44 I think, yeah 44 each side, and you need a gap around it like you did with the circles. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see this, but I have drawn the plans out on here. It is a little confusing because you've got to get it right. One side is coming around, so the left side, and these are the shorter bits I'm on about, these bits here, and they're going to be cut out. So these are just going to be the shorter bits at the front, so the guinea pig will be able to get in and out. So this has to be changed, right. Oh dear, this can get very confusing. I'm going up 13.5, that's what I should be doing. 13.5 and across 8 centimetres. These are the bits to cut off. See, this is why it's good to do it on the other side, which isn't going to be shown because so much to write on. Okay, so this bit actually needs cutting out. Okay, so this is coming in from the left, so we've got a short thing there, and that'll be coming in from the right. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out and I'll be back. Okay, I've cut them out, and once again, shockingly bad cutting. What I will do, I will stitch these two bits together at the front, so they just continue on round. You might be wondering why it's so high, but when you have to stitch on the base part, it does take a bit up, so it does actually get a bit shorter. And also, it's really good to have higher things to keep in any hay or anything you might be putting in it to keep them extra warm. Now, the next thing I need to do is draw around these shapes and cut them out again. Now, it's much easier to just straight away draw around them rather than measuring them out, because then you get like the exact shape. Okay, so I've cut out all the white now. That one and that one. But before I attach these all together, I'm going to be attaching the two purple ones, and I'll have to do the same with the two white ones, but they've got to be attached at the front, so I'm going to pin them. Now ideally, you'd be stitching that with that, so they would connect a bit like that. For my last bit, I used a navy blue coloured thread, but I think if I can find like a light lilac colour, I'll be using that for this. And that's how I'm going to stitch it, like that, and then I'm going to stitch the white one the same. Okay, so I've now done the white one, as you can see there, and the purple one. So this will be around the front, and that'll have to be turned around so that's inside as well. Like, this is what it will look like, but obviously when you're stitching it up, it has to be inside out, just like the pillow. And like the pillow, you will need a hole where you'll be able to turn it all inside out and fill it with stuffing. I would suggest doing it in the bottom somewhere, so when you stitch it up, if you have to stitch it on the outside, like the pillow, because I think there is a cleaner technique. Whereas, see, I can't even find it, yeah. I don't know if you can see that, but I've stitched it up a bit there. So if you do that at the bottom, people won't notice it as much. So yeah, just one biggish hole. Remember to leave, but I'm going to stitch all of this up now. Okay, now this is all stitched, I've left this area open so I can turn it all inside out. If you have an easier technique for it to be sewn these two parts together and still be able to turn it inside out, go for that. I was getting a little bit confused, so. Okay, and when you get to the corners, make sure they are all fully pulled out, because you can end up getting things tucked in. And here you go, so both the corners are fully out. Okay, as you can see, it's a little bit crumpled here. I may have just pulled a bit of a stitch wrong there, but oh well. So this is what's going to go round. What I'm going to do next, just before I stuff it all, is I'm going to attach this to this. I think I might sew with white string inside so then it's less obvious. And then I will fill it up with the pillow, inside of the pillow, and sew up the gap that I left open. Okay, so I stitched this all up and I filled it all with padding, the same stuff I used for the pillow. I also added a base, and I've used a thick waterproof material. I cut that using the same plate that I cut the pillow out of, so it all should fit together. For some reason this took me ages to sew on. I'm not sure why, but it did. It's quite late as well. So yeah, this is like a triangular shape, so it can fit in a corner quite nicely. And I can now add my pillow, which, because this is the same size, the pillow can sit just underneath the gaps. And then you've got yourself your very own handmade pet bed.